Welcome back to another episode of Trench Study. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down Gervon Dexter Sr.'s game against the Panthers. Dexter finished the game with 6 pressures, which included 2 half sacks and 2 QB hits. That puts him at 15 pressures and 4 sacks on the season and 6 sacks in his last 7 games. Bears fans were upset when they passed on Jalen Carter, but they may have still gotten their star defensive tackle of the future in Gervon. Let's break down the film now. On this first rep, he's going to be working against Robert Hunt, who just signed a 5-year, $100 million deal with the Panthers this offseason. And you're going to see he's going to be able to get some pressure on him. Maybe not pressure, but he wins the rep. So Dexter comes off the ball here, and he starts with a swipe. So he's going to swipe Hunt's hands away right there. And then he's going to follow up the swipe with a cross chop. So he comes across with his left hand. He's going to be able to chop down Hunt's left hand. You can kind of see the white there on Hunt's left hand. Knocks him down right there. And he's able to start working to the QB, but the ball comes out quick. But still a very good rep against one of the highest paid guards in the league. This next rep is going to be Dexter's half sack from this game. You see he's going to be able to get a hit on Dalton, take him down. Dexter has been an absolute force on the stunts this year, and you're going to see it here on this rep. He comes off the ball, he's just going to stab into this guy's chest. So he stabs him for a second with his left hand. Gets into him, stabs him with his left. And then from there, he's going to try to chop his shoulder, which he does, knocks him out of the way, and then he just has a path to Dalton. Picks up the sack. Here's going to be another example. They're working on a stunt. Kind of shaky, but still is able to get a hit on the QB. So Dexter's going to be working around here, while Andrew Billings is coming through here, and they're going to try to free up Dexter around this lane here. So here we go. Dexter's going to come across. He actually gets caught up on Billings for a second here, but he's still going to be able to get into this guy, swipe his hands away right there. So there's a swipe, and then from there he's going to swim over top of the guy and have a lane to the QB, which he gets a hit on him, and he hit Dalton a lot of times this game. So Dexter's just going to come across here, get into him with a bull rush right here, starts pushing him back. Dalton senses some pressure, steps up right into him, and he's there to make the play. Here we're going to have a run play, and he doesn't necessarily make the stop here, but he does an alright job flowing with the play. You're going to see he steps over to the side, gets into the center's chest with his elbow, which seems to be his go-to move on run plays. He's going to start to flow with the play, keep the outside sealed, and then when the running back cuts back, he's going to be able to get him off of him and get a hand on him. Doesn't make the tackle, but still does a good job off the initial rep of getting into him with that elbow, and then he's able to just flow with the play, and when he has to, he does shed. Pretty good rep, nothing crazy. I believe we have another stunt on this play, but it just gets thrown off by the chip block on Taylor, and you're going to see a big variety of pass rush moves from Dexter here. It looks like Dexter wanted to go for a cross chop here on a stunt like we saw him do in my breakdown a couple weeks ago. So he's going to come off the ball. It looks like he's hunting for that right hand when Hunt puts it out, but Hunt's going to be patient with it, so Dexter's going to have to adjust and go for what looks like a swipe swim. So he's going to swipe here and try to swim over top, but Hunt lands with his hands, forces him out. From here, Dexter's going to be able to long arm the tackle, so right there, and then swim over top of him and almost get to the quarterback. So you get to see a lot of the different clubs in Gervon Dexter's bag on this play. And here we're going to have yet another stunt from Dexter. He's going to show some of his power this time. Gets a hit on the QB. One of the things that I do like about Dexter is that if he's anywhere near the QB, he's hitting him. And you see that on this play. But he's just going to come wide, get into the tackle with a little bull rush, pop him back, and then be able to work outside of him. And when Dalton lets the ball go, he just rocks him. Here we're going to see Gervon Dexter go for his go-to move this year, which is a cross chop. Now normally he does this on the inside, but since they're stunting around the outside, he's going to do it off the edge. Comes inside. Works outside for the stunt, and then here you're going to see him go for that cross chop. So he's going to take that right hand, go across the tackle's body, chop it down, try to pin it, and then from there he's going to work what looks like a hump move. He's going to get that arm under that left tackle's left shoulder and try to hump him away, push him away and swim over top, which he kind of does. Here we have another rep that shows one of my favorite traits of Gervon Dexter, and it's not so much about the start of the rep, more about the end of the rep here. As you see, he doesn't do much with the double team. So he's just going to come off the ball here, swipe Hunt's hands away right there, Swipes the hands, then tries to bull rush this dude. He's not going to be able to. Then when Dalton comes out of the pocket, this is what I'm talking about. There have been multiple plays this year and last year where he just chases a QB and forces them to either get less yards or tackles them. And I'm not just picking out 1 or 2 reps. If you watch Gervon Dexter film, every single play he's doing this. He's going to chase the ball after the play is happening. And here's another rep of it. You see it's not as much this time, but still. This next rep is going to be a rep in the run game. And I'll break it down afterwards. So Hunt and the right tackle are going to be working a combo block here. So Hunt's going to come off, pass him off to 77. And then 77 is supposed to overtake and seal him off to the outside. But Dexter is able to work across, get that elbow into him, and be able to fill the lane for the most part. And then just control the guard. So it's not necessarily a perfect rep, but here he pops off the ball, gets it to him with that elbow once again, and then he's just going to flow with the play here. Be ready for a cutback if needed, as you see right there. But he doesn't, so he's just going to keep driving the guy over. On this next rep, we're going to be back to a pass rush, and he's just going to show good eyes and good IQ here. Be able to get another hit on Dalton. Not really too much to break down from this play. You just see that he has good eyes and good football IQ. So he started, it's a play action. He's going to see the play action and immediately just start working to the QB. And it gets him a hit. This next rep is going to be another run defense rep. And run defense has been a bit of a weakness for Gervon Dexter so far this year. He's been able to manage his slow get off in the pass rush game. But in the run game, you see guys are sometimes able to get leverage on him and reach blocks and just get under him and push him back in double teams because he's laid off the ball. And you're going to see that here. These guys are both going to get into him and drive him a few yards off the ball. He is able to recover, but still. So I am still learning play design, but it looks like they're running a duo up into Dexter and up into Billings here. And from that, whichever way the linebacker goes, if the linebacker goes this way, then this guy goes here. If the linebacker goes this way, then this guy goes here, and he'd stay with this guy. But you're going to see that on this side. So basically, it starts out like a double team on Dexter. Then if Edmonds comes down this way, Hunt's going to come off, and that is what happens. Billings on the other side is going to get off the ball quickly and attack number 68 to avoid the double team. But Dexter's going to be a little bit too late off the ball and get caught in the double team right here. You see it? Gets caught by both of them, while Billings is on the other side working against one of them, pushing him in, while Dexter's getting pushed back. With that said, Gervon Dexter is able to recover once Hunt goes to Edmonds right there. So Dexter is able to re-anchor himself, get his hands up under the center, pop him up a bit, and then swim over top. He has been able to recover a lot of the times once he does give up that leverage, but it's still something that he needs to work on that we're going to need in this defense to be elite as run game because we have been giving up some gashes in the run plays. Here we have another rep in the run game. And here's where you can see that get off a little bit, so I'm going to go frame by frame here. You'll see the guards start getting off the ball. Guards are getting off the ball. And by the time they're basically even is when Dexter's getting off. So it just gives up his leverage, and by there you can see his helmet's already across him. So he gives up all his leverage that he had already, but he is still strong enough to work across. As you see, he seals him and then just rips him to the side, and is able to work across. I was hoping this would improve when I heard he'd lost weight, but it still seems to be somewhat of a problem. It does seem better than last year, though, I'll give him that for sure. Here we have Gervon Dexter lined up as an edge rusher. He's 6'6", 315 pounds rushing off the edge, which is pretty freakish. And you'll see some of that power. And then they get a sack. Not really too much to break down from this one other than just showing his versatility and his athleticism. So he comes off the ball. He's going to get into him with a bull rush. Pops him back. And then he has a long arm, but by that point, Billings already is getting the sack. And I know a lot of the times Bears fans, whenever they see a defensive tackle dropping in coverage, they like to make fun of it. But you'll see on this play, it might be the reason they get a sack. So this guard's actually going to slide away from Billings over to Taylor like Taylor's blitzing, but Billings is actually going to rush. So as you're going to see, nobody goes for Billings and he just has a free lane to the QB. This next rep is going to be on special teams, and he's almost going to block a punt. As you see right here, gets through. Pretty close, honestly. So he's really just going to get into this guy with a bit of a long arm. If you see his right hand, long arms him out of the way, and then just works to the guy. Here's another pass rush rep. I'm not sure if they call this a pressure or not. I don't think they would, but they could have. Dexter's going to go for a chop swim here. As you see, he comes off the ball. He's going to go for that chop down on his left hand, but he misses. Then he tries to swim over top. but since he missed the chop, it's not really going to be there. Still, Sweat's coming around inside, which frees up Dexter, and Dexter has a lane to try to get to Dalton. I'm honestly pretty impressed with how quick he was able to get up from that. Thank you for watching this episode of Trench Study. Hopefully I was able to do a good job breaking down how Gervon Dexter has been winning this year. Leave a comment letting me know how many sacks you think he'll have this season. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more. Peace.